I heard you're having trouble dodging those radar missiles, right? And you keep dying? Well, this is the video for you then. I'm teaching you how to dodge radar missiles in 3 ways. So the first method is something called notching. So I'll have this diagram here just to help me explain what is going on. You are this blue plane up here, and the enemy is this red plane down here, and he's firing a missile. So notching is done successfully when your plane is angled 90 degrees or perpendicular from where the missile is coming from. When you do this, you need to drop your chaff as it confuses the enemy missile and essentially acts like a flare toward IR missiles, and the radar missile will go for the chaff and it won't hit your plane. And then after the missile has passed you, you can fly however you want. Just be careful because they might want to fire a second missile where you would then have to go into a defensive position and notch a second missile or turn cold, which I will get on later. As an overview of notching, the one thing that is most important is having yourself aligned at 90 degrees from your opponent. And if he fires a missile, you keep 90 degrees from that missile and drop chaff as you go. And you should be able to notch the missile 100% of the time, no matter what missile it is. Just keep in mind that some missiles will be harder to notch. The degree of notch will be narrower, so you'll have less wiggle room, less error. Some missiles you can be 70 to 80 degrees in the lower battle rating with the semi-active radar homing missiles, but in top tier and certain missiles like the R-27, the room for error is very, very minimal. So try and keep at 90 degrees at all times, and then turn in once you feel the moment is right, or if they're turning into a defensive position. So the name going cold doesn't really make sense because you're showing your afterburner to the missile, which is very hot, but that's besides the point. So going cold is when you do a full 180. You turn all the way around and you basically fly away from the missile. You try and outrun it. Now this only works over quite a large distance because the missile does have a lot of energy and it can chase up to you if you're not far enough away. But if you're really far away, just run away from it and you can make big circles, big turns to lose the energy of the missile that's chasing you until you've done it for about 30 seconds, and then you can just turn all the way around and you'll be safe, because by that point the missile has run out of fuel and it has no more energy to chase you. It will just be gliding. So, multipathing. The multipathing is probably the easiest method to defend against radar missiles because it's the least complicated one to do. Basically, all multipathing is staying close to the ground. I recommend try to stay under 60 meters. Some trees will be around 60 meters, so some maps will not be very easy to multipath on. This is mainly on Moscow, the top tier snowy map. The trees reach around 60 meters, so I'd recommend just going for the notch in those in that match. So I'll play some clips. You should already see them now playing. So these clips that you're watching now are of the multipathing taking effect. You can see the missiles, they hit the ground in front of you. Now be careful because some missiles have a big explosion radius when they hit the ground. So when you see the missile coming towards you, I would advise that you take a sharp turn just to make sure that there's no collateral damage when it hits the ground and the explosion radius hits your plane, because you can die by that if it knocks out one of your stabilizers or your ailerons, or it could just damage your radar and make it unusable. So overall, number 1, we have notching, staying 90 degrees from the missile and dropping chaff as you go. Number 2, we have going cold, which is essentially running away. Just make sure you have a big distance and that your plane is fast enough. Number 3 is multipathing, staying close to the ground and making sure that you're under 60 meters above the ground. You can see this if you search up radar altitude on your settings, and it will show your radar altitude, or abbreviated to RALT, alongside your normal altitude that says ALT. That's basically all you need to know to dodge radar missiles. So if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to like and subscribe. And I will see you next week for another video.